Hey, what's up, guys? Look what I found. Guess what we're gonna talk about today? I wish I could have this inside, just like Logan. Well, adamantium, right? So today I want to talk about the review of Logan's movie, the very end, how to end the franchise. A great movie, I'm not gonna lie. I even wrote notes. What are you gonna do? Can you get any better than that? So let's read this. So I don't know how to start off. I can only say that this movie was actually really good, and it touched my heart because I walked through Logan's grief through the whole movie. How he was suffering. He was little by little dying. A little bit of mystery about the past, what happened to the X-Men, and a little bit of mystery about himself, not knowing what happened. Why was he such a disaster? Let me see what else I wrote, because I tend to forget. Since the beginning of the movie, you feel Wolverine suffering such a different take of his life. Looking at him being so vulnerable, it touched my soul. Looking at him not being the fierce X-Men we have seen in the past. You see, I wrote notes. But honestly, guys, this was the rated R version of a movie that I was honestly waiting for. It had a lot of heads flying around, a lot of chopping of different kinds, a lot of stabbing, blowing people here and there, explosions, a lot of blood, a lot of cutscenes, you know what I mean? So it was a unique kind of movie at the moment. We've never seen any Wolverine movie take it to this point, you know. It wasn't just about action. It was more than that. It was a really well developed story with Wolverine being the center of everything. Like the whole character of Wolverine became really different from the X-Men. On being the only X-Men left, he wanted to forget his past, but because of this, he became more vulnerable to the outside pressure. He was not Wolverine. He was He wasn't that fierce warrior. He was somebody trying to run from who he was. And this started the movie because he's in a lot of pain. He's actually dying, so it gives you another side of him, just being a weak X-Men, being a weak person. It makes you feel his mortality, makes him feel human as everybody else. And this was a good take to finish off the Wolverine, honestly, because it drives you into watching the movie. It makes you more, what's the right phrase? You just want to experience more and more. You really get attached to the character. And then X-23 being the daughter or the clone, I don't know how you want to really put that in perspective. Having so many characteristics, like him being reckless, fierce in the sense of fighting, skill, and having the same personality as him, hard-headed and stubborn. He gave this movie a well-developed take, and all the fighting scenes, all that action, it fit in perfectly. It had a little bit of everything, sad part, really messed up part, and it just gave you a whole Wolverine that you read in the Old Man Logan comics kind of thing, but at the same time it had its own idea. Nobody could copy it. Nobody could make this the way they did. Honestly, I was really surprised how they changed so many details of the Old Man Logan comic book and made everything fit in. Just be its own movie to finish the whole Wolverine movie franchise. Sadly, this is the end so far that we know. And him fighting his clone, the X-24, was a good fight because you could see that young Wolverine, how fierce he was, his power, and then you see the old man Logan trying to keep up. It's just what you always wanted to see, a fight with somebody that was as strong as him, as deadly as him, but not being him. So it gave you that, is he gonna kill him? Is he gonna be able to destroy himself? You know what I mean? Like, be able to be stronger than Wolverine. But all those points make you want to watch that movie. All those points make you attached to the character. And overall, the only really negative part is that sometimes the story was a little draggy and they put a lot of unnecessary kind of scenes and story that we could have used better with flashbacks of the X-Men, what happened to them, a little more backstory about that, because we know what happened. It would have been nice seeing a backstory. Professor X was a really great character. He really had a great role. So Professor X became a really big part of it, like the father. What kept Logan going for a while, for a long time after all the X-Men died and everything. So you see the connection between the Professor and Wolverine. They were a family. Believe it or not, Wolverine cared about the Professor, and he makes it into a good point because he had a chance to just leave him there, but nah, he took care of it. He showed that Wolverine cared about his friends, his family, even though it was just the Professor and him. So that's where the daughter comes out, just to give the final touch in this movie as being the last movie. Just Wolverine being a solo person, always by himself, always fighting alone. In this movie, he just gets a family, and sadly, it's the last movie. Really broke my heart. The end of the movie, I'm not gonna lie. Seeing him on the floor, just dying, being Wolverine, and just dying, knowing just the character is dying, but you feel like a huge emptiness in your heart, because I've been watching his movies for 17 years, and that's it. I hope they don't try to bring somebody else into that character, because it will really kill it off. There's no point. Just let it go. No more Wolverine, and that's it. I feel without Wolverine, the X-Men universe is not gonna be the same. I see why the Marvel movies are a lot better than DC, because they put more effort into it. They don't just want to sell. They put more story, and they make a good mix of action, story, and drama and everything into the movie. So, oh man, sad. I even cried at the end of it. You just see him laying there, dying. You feel like the actor died too, along Wolverine. You just feel like that whole person is just gone, and you're never gonna see them again. So that's the review and the talk about Wolverine. I can't say anything else. It's such a heartbreaking movie. That's all I really gotta say. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a good one. You should get a pair of these. These are fucking amazing. Peace. Bye, Ame.